Welcome back to the channel, my people, and thank you for joining me today. Now, what I'm about to discuss is not just another headline, it's a disturbing reflection of where we are as a country. The news broke from Katsina, the home state of President Tinubu's predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari, that a bandits leader boldly threatened the government. He said, and I quote, "If you kill 10 of us, 20 more will emerge." Just pause for a second and let that sink in. These are not whispers in the dark, these are open threats made in public, loud enough for the world to hear. This single statement exposes everything wrong with Nigeria right now, a nation where criminals no longer hide, where terrorists now stand in front of cameras and threaten the President of the Federal Republic without fear. What does this mean? It means the government has lost grip. It means ordinary Nigerians are the ones paying the highest price, while leaders are shielded with convoys, DSS guards, and barricaded mansions. It means the blood of poor farmers, traders, and children in the north has become the sacrifice for the failure of leadership. But let's be real, this is not the first time we're hearing such arrogance. For years, bandits have kidnapped school children in broad daylight, collected ransoms in billions, and gone back to the bush untouched. Villages have been burned, thousands displaced, and many Nigerians forced into poverty because they can't even go to their farms without fear of abduction. In fact, agriculture, which was supposed to be the pride of northern Nigeria, has collapsed because farmers are now too scared to plant. When bandits threaten the president, they're actually sending a message to us all. This government cannot protect you. And that's a dangerous place for any country to be. The deeper issue here is that banditry in Nigeria is not just about guns, it's about economics, politics, and the outright failure of governance. These criminals thrive because there is poverty. They thrive because there are no jobs. They thrive because corruption ensures billions budgeted for security vanish without accountability. And they thrive because politicians themselves sometimes negotiate with them instead of crushing them. When a bandit leader says 20 more will emerge, what he's really saying is that there's an endless pool of frustrated, unemployed young men ready to join the madness. Now, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the people living in Katsina, Zamfara, Kaduna, and Sokoto. Every day, they wake up with uncertainty. Will today be the day bandits strike again? Will their children return from school? Will they even live to see tomorrow? Meanwhile, in Abuja, we see politicians fighting over appointments, traveling abroad, or hosting endless meetings with no real results. That's why this threat should not be taken lightly. It's not just about 10 or 20 bandits, it's about the system that allows bandits to multiply like mosquitoes in stagnant water. But we also need to ask tough questions. Why has the Nigerian army, one of the largest in Africa, failed to neutralize these gangs? Why is it that despite trillions of naira spent on defense budgets over the years, we still see videos of bandits parading with motorcycles and AK-47s? Why are they not afraid? The answer is painful, because they know there are powerful people benefiting from their existence. They know some politicians use them for elections, some security officers profit from ransom deals, and some elites look the other way as long as it doesn't touch them directly. That is why ordinary Nigerians must stop seeing this as a northern problem. This is a Nigerian problem. When the north burns, the south will feel the smoke. When farmers in Zamfara can't grow food, food prices in Lagos and Port Harcourt skyrocket. When security collapses in Katsina, Abuja is not safe either. So what do? First, we must demand accountability. Nigerians must rise beyond tribal and religious divides to hold this government responsible. If Tinubu truly wants to be remembered as a reformer, then this is the battlefield where he must prove himself, not by endless press releases or sending soldiers without a plan, but by cutting off the lifeline of banditry. That means investing in intelligence gathering, using drones, deploying technology, and dismantling the political cover that protects these criminals. Second, we must address poverty and unemployment. No matter how many bandits you kill, more will emerge if young people remain jobless and hopeless. The government must create opportunities for education, skills, and empowerment. If you don't give youths a reason to live, criminals will give them a reason to kill. Third, Nigerians themselves must wake up. We can no longer afford to be spectators, waiting for leaders who have failed us over and over. The 2027 elections are not far away. This is not the time for blind loyalty to failed parties or recycled politicians. We must decide whether we want to keep living in fear or choose leaders with integrity who can secure our lives and future. Friends, I know some of you are tired. I know you feel helpless. But history shows us that nations rise when citizens refuse to accept oppression as normal. Look at how young Nigerians stood up during NSAS. Look at how communities come together during crises to support one another. That spirit must be reignited, not for protests alone, but for sustained civic action. We must demand from our representatives, from our governors, from our president, results, not excuses. To the youths watching this, understand that Nigeria's future is literally in your hands. These bandits are not just threatening Tinubu, they are threatening your tomorrow. If you don't get involved, if you don't demand accountability, if you don't vote wisely, you will inherit a broken country where criminals dictate the rules. But if you rise, if you unite, if you stay consistent, then one day we will look back at this dark period and say, never again. So let me end with this. A bandits leader has spoken boldly, but the real question is, will Nigerians finally speak louder? Will we choose courage over fear, unity over division, accountability over blind loyalty? The choice is ours. Thank you for watching. If this video spoke to your heart, don't just scroll away. Hit the like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, share this message with others, and make sure you subscribe for more bold and truth-centered content. Together, we can awaken Nigeria's conscience.